YouTube. This is exactly what you get when you have a screenwriter who is also the producer, who is also the director, who knows nothing about what they are talking about. There is nobody there to fact check the people writing these scripts and overseeing the director. And it's beginning to show more and more with every movie that comes out with Marvel. Let's talk about it, because I have never had a movie physically hurt my head before until the Dark Phoenix movie. So congratulations, Marvel. Congratulations, Fox. Y'all managed to do something never done before. I do want to start off by saying, well, I've already started saying, but before I get into this review, this movie is not terrible. Only if you are completely ignorant to everything that is happening within the series. And I don't mean that from just a comic book standpoint. I mean that from like an X-Men movie franchise standpoint. You can really only enjoy this movie if you've never seen any movie that has came before it. And if you know nothing about the comic books. Because y'all remember that. All right, let's just jump right into it. All right. So the only reason I'm going to talk about this first, this scene first, is because it literally happens within the first 20 minutes of the movie. Y'all remember, it couldn't have been more than maybe a few weeks ago, that whole scene with Jennifer Lawrence talking to, Professor X, and she says that line, we should change the name to X Women. Yeah, we all remember that line. That actually happens within, this is not heavy spoilers, but that happens within the first 20 minutes of the movie. And, without context, you have no idea why she's saying that. So I like to be the devil's advocate. I like giving the benefit of the doubt. So I was like, okay, maybe there's a valid reason for why she said that. Maybe he said something to trigger her. Maybe something actually happened where it warranted that response, right? I was proven immediately wrong with that, okay? So to paint this picture, they're in space. They get called to go save astronauts who are in space. The shuttle just launched and they lost communication with them. So they go up into space. Raven, Hank, Quicksilver, Storm, Jean Grey, and Nightcrawler, right? They're in space and they have to go and they blast this ship. So what Raven's running point. So what Raven does is she orders Nightcrawler and Quicksilver to go into the ship and save the entire crew. They get in there, Quicksilver unbuckles everybody, Nightcrawler teleports him out. Then they're like, whoa, wait, hey, you left the captain. He's trying to fix the ship. He was in some other part of the ship. He wasn't in the cockpit. So he goes back, but this time he takes Jean Grey, right? Because she can hold the ship together because it's deteriorating because there's a solar storm, what they believe to be a solar storm, coming to the ship. So Nightcrawler teleports Jean Grey into the ship. Jean Grey holding it together from the inside. Storm is freezing the ship from the outside to, seal the windows. He teleports. He gets the captain. He tries to teleport back to get Jean. Doesn't work. He gets back to the ship. He's like, yeah, I lost her. The solar storm engulfs the spaceship, and then it's going towards their, the X-Men ship. Jean Grey saves the crew, right? They get her back. She gets checked out. She's A-okay. I'm not here to talk about what happens after that. I'm here to say the line that I'm talking about that Raven or Mystique delivered, Jennifer Lawrence's character, says, the women are always saving the men around here. You should think about changing the name to X Women. This is what I'm talking about. There's nobody fact-checking or just doing basic editing with the writer who is also the producer, who is also the director. When there's only one person, they can run with whatever they want and it not make sense. This is what I'm talking about. This movie was confusing because from the very beginning, it is confusing because she says that literally after the men did 95% of the work. I shit you not. And it was her who gave the orders. She told Nightcrawler, a male, to go with Quicksilver, a male, to save the entire crew, while Hank, Cyclops, Storm, Raven herself, and Jean Grey sat comfortably in the ship until it was time for Jean Grey to go and do her thing. But it's like, yo, they just saved the crew. What are you saying? Like, really, what are you saying? And to make matters worse, it's like she has completely forgotten. Raven, do you not remember yourself in X-Men Apocalypse? You were dying, basically. You were on the brink of death, and Hank had to save you. Hank saved your ass because you were getting choked out in the movie, and you couldn't do shit at all. And then, what's his name had to save Storm because Storm had gotten possessed in the movie and became one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. We just forget that Quicksilver saved the entire institute when it got nuked and it was blowing up. But we forget about that. He saved, 100, maybe 200 kids? I don't know, something along those lines. Instantly, while the Xavier school was blown up. We forget about those moments, but hey, the women saved the men more in just the X-Men movies, right? Just the movies. I don't even have to talk about comic books. Just the movies, the women save the men more. Get the fuck out of here. It's like the writers don't even attempt to have their shit make sense. They're not even trying at this point. Like, they're just writing just to write. And it doesn't make sense. Because if you've seen that in the movie, you're like, what is she talking about? When I don't remember a lot of times. And you could make the argument, Hugo, Jean Grey saved everybody up there when she did what she did. Well, I would give that to you if we did not find out later, kind of spoilers. It doesn't really matter. It wasn't a solar storm that hit the space shuttle. It was a ray of cosmic energy that hit the space shuttle. We find out the whole reason the cosmic energy was coming to Earth was because the cosmic energy was being drawn towards Jean Grey. Excuse me. The cosmic energy was being drawn towards Jean Grey. My God. So if you really want to get technical, this whole movie, the entire plot, was her fault. So great. She saves everybody from a problem that she herself ended up causing. Good to know. Good to know. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, all of this, except with the exception of the last part, happened within the first 30 minutes of the movie. When you find out about what the energy was towards the end of the movie, not even towards the end, like middle back of the movie. What confuses me next is once they land, okay? They land, the astronauts get off, and everyone's praising the X-Men, and they just apparently know that they're mutants, and I'm like, did I miss something? Did I miss something? Are these not supposed to be prequels to the original X-Men trilogy? X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men, like Last Stand, like the trilogy and stuff like that? Are these not the prequels? Why is it that they know about the mutants in the prequels and know about the existence of mutants and their powers in the prequels, but once you get to the later movies, the first movies, the entire world just forgets about mutants? Unless I'm remembering something wrong. I could have sworn they did not know about the existence of mutants. But in this movie, the prequels, they do. So who did the whole memory wipe Men in Black flashy thingy to the entire world population? Actually, I think there actually was. But no, that still doesn't make sense because they know now. So I'm like, when did this become popular? When did this become popular? Then it's just plagued with one bad decision after the other bad decision. You have Mystique trying to talk no jutsu down Jean Grey after she begins to lose control consistently of her powers. Fail. Hank goes renegade and teams up with Magneto. Like, fail. The movie is just bad decision after bad decision. And you know what kills me? No pun intended. You know what kills me? Is that the line was delivered at the beginning about women saving men, and then Jean Grey gets captured and she ends up having to be saved by guess who? Men. It's like the radical feminists who are writing these things don't even, like, y'all not even trying to benefit yourself. I don't even know what you're trying to get, because you made the whole speech about women saving men, but then you turn around and have a woman be saved by a man. Pick what you want to do, because either way, I'm not harping on this because of that. I'm harping on this because it's just bad story writing from the get-go. And to my third point, I'm still up in arms about the fact that Raven, or if you don't know, Mystique, the blue one, how is she on a team with Nightcrawler. And for anybody who doesn't know, because believe me when I say I am not in depth into comic books. I have friends who know multiple universes and they track all that stuff. I don't know that. If Marvel movies comes out, I do my best to educate myself on that Marvel movie. But I've known this since I was like when the X-Men movies first started coming out, right? And back in the 2000s, those X-Men movies. For those who don't know, to sum it up very easily, Mystique had a child with this mutant demon by the name of Azazel. Azazel is a red mutant, a red demon. I think he's actually a demon. A red demon who has the ability to teleport, illusions, and energy blasts, if I'm remembering that correctly. So Mystique and Azazel, they get their MO tickle on, and Mystique is pregnant, and she delivers the baby, and then she doesn't want to keep the baby, so she, gives the baby away, sends the baby down a river, on a raft, puts the baby on a doorstep. I think it was actually the doorstep one, because she doesn't want it. She delivers a nice blue little baby. If you have not caught on by now, Nightcrawler is Mystique's son. If you remember back to X-Men 2, the second movie, right? When Jean Grey and Storm, they go to actually find Nightcrawler. He says that he was raised within the church, right? The nuns raised him, so, that's why he's religious and things of that nature. So, he was raised as an orphan. He never knew his mother. He never knew his father. It's a simple Google search away, or you can read the comic books yourself. That's her son. It does not make sense for Mystique and Nightcrawler to be the same age on the same team. And if that's the case, if she did defect at this point, then she should not be on the X-Men. When did she leave the X-Men? When was she even a part of the X-Men? I thought she was with Magneto since she was a baby, since she was a little girl. That's what we have known to be true. You can't make the argument that, oh, it's a different timeline. No, it's not a different timeline. That's what it's not. This is the one movie you can't argue it's a different timeline, because the series has been it's the same continuous X-Men franchise. It's not like the other Marvel movies where it's different movies, different worlds. No, this is the same world, same timeline, same everything. But look, I can't talk about this anymore. It's really gonna frustrate me, even more than this. Like, it was just mad confusing as you watch this movie. And like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. No, it was a bad movie. It was a bad movie because it was too confusing. It's like they knew Fox. Well, I mean, of course they knew. Fox was like, it's our last movie. I don't give a fuck what happens to the rest of it. F it, just finish it out. I don't care if it makes sense. Just make it happen. It's just been bad decision after bad decision, and they know it. They know it. The question I have for everybody in the comment section: who do you think was the better Mystique? Because I was watching this, and this is probably gonna add like 5, 6, 7 more minutes onto the video, but oh well. I was watching Jennifer Lawrence play Mystique, and I really never caught on as to why I didn't like her playing Mystique. I just never knew why. Jennifer Lawrence is a really good actress. I paused and I hesitated for a second because she's a really good actress in the acting sense. But if you remember, I hope I get this name right. Rebecca Ramage. Rebecca, the very first Mystique that were introduced in the earlier X-Men's, right? I do apologize if I said your name wrong. I said that like she's ever going to watch this video. That's probably never going to be the case. But I don't like mispronouncing people's name. But anyway, I digress. Jennifer Lawrence is an actress in the sense of, acting lines, delivering of her lines. Her acting was really good in this movie. She's a great actress. But Rebecca, when she played Mystique, she had less lines to deliver, right? She was just there to be an imposing force, and I do know that when she would deliver the lines, they physically enhanced her voice, right? They used audio software to enhance her voice because, she can transform into anything or anyone, right? And mimic everything, even their voice. A lot of times if she was talking, she wasn't using her own voice. It was very few times that you heard her voice, and what lines that she did have were very short. So Rebecca, when she played Mystique, she was playing it for the physical standpoint. She was a very physical actress, and it's almost like she is what you get when you have a stunt devil become an actor or an actress. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it, because Mystique was an assassin, a very physical assassin, parkour. She did a lot of jumping. She did a lot of running. She physically fighting, martial artist type-esque. She was an assassin. All along. She broke a dude's neck with her feet. No, let's talk about that. The original Mystique in the original X-Men broke a dude's neck, a cop guard's neck with her feet. That's how physical she was. A contortionist, if you will. And she made that shit happen through bars. I did a little research into it, and she never looked it, but she's actually very tall. She's 5'11" in real life. And the camera just makes her look short, or she's just standing next to giants. But it's kind of like when you watch something at its best, anything else that follows after that, it just doesn't compare. The best example I can give you is Heath Ledger's Joker, right? It's been a while since The Dark Knight, and they've been through, if I'm not mistaken, 3 other Jokers. And it's like you watch the best of the best do the best impression of the Joker. And it's you think it's like, okay, if the Joker was real, this is what the Joker would be like, right? If Mystique was real, then Rebecca's Mystique would be Mystique. Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, this is, if Iron Man was real, is what we would give Iron Man, right? So when someone else has to come along and do it, it's like, okay, I just can't take this seriously. Not that they're a terrible actor or a terrible actress. It's just like, yo, I've seen the best. I have seen the best. Anything that follows after that, no, I can't. I haven't even watched another Batman movie because I'm like, this Joker, you're not a bad actor, dude. You're not, but it's like, it's Heath Ledger. You're trying to follow Heath Ledger. You can't follow the Mystique, because one, Jennifer Lawrence is not as physical as Mystique, right? But I get it. You can make the argument, oh, this is when she was younger, but Magneto has had Mystique since she was a child. So it just, again, confusion. It does not make sense. It does not make sense if she is with the X-Men to begin with. I'm not understanding when she went with Professor X, if she's always been with Magneto from her childhood. But who do you think did it better? Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, or Rebecca Roman as Mystique? And again, I do apologize if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. I tried to look up the pronunciation, couldn't find it, but that's all I have for y'all today. Subscribe if you're new, comment on the video, like the video, share the video, and like always, keep it safe, wrap it tight. I'm out.